And you can always keep track of the Weaver with the Thunder Strike, because it does keep going through the Sakuchi. So you can kind of have an idea of where the Weaver's going, so he can't just juke you out. Penta Ace actually going back for the Bat Rider now. His hero still received a lot of nerfs, but I suppose into the Monkey King and the Timber, it is going to prove to be very, very strong. Thing is, you are playing that into a Disruptor as well, so the Glimpse back can be a little bit annoying. We'll see what Penta Ace get done with this Bat Rider. Every time I see the pick now, it just feels a bit underwhelming.
Yeah, it really just falls flat. The Flash Farm isn't as great. The Lasso is still really important, so you do have that control here, but now it does leave the question as to what lane it's going on. It looks like it's likely to be off lane here, and the DP goes mid for Ryoya, so snaking Bat Rider coming through. I'd say Infamous already have some decent ways to stop the Lasso, though. Glimpse is already one good way. If you see the Bat Rider jump in and it's not in Disruptor, glimpse him back. If it's far back enough, and for the most part it can be, you end up with just breaking that Lasso off. So some save potential here from Infamous. They could sneak in a last pick to make that work, but seeing that they are lacking a core, there are not many cores left to stop the Bat Rider from just kind of taking control like that. So we'll see what does slide through. Penta Ace with this kind of lineup though, Bat Rider plus DP plus the Weaver. They've got to play pretty fast here. Get the level 6 on Ryoya. Start looking for the mid tower, if not the bot tower, or in this case the top tower, and start shoving in that way with the Exorcist and play around with team fights. We saw Penta Ace play around that timing pretty well in game 1, so they just need to replicate that around the DP here.
Penta Ace, one more ban out. Still focusing in on those mid picks, I'm sure. Seems like they've already established the Monkey King pos 1. Get rid of the Jug. No, they haven't. So they're not 100% sure on where this Monkey King is going. Getting rid of the Jug as a second ban out. Infamous Gaming, also kind of unsure. I mean, they banned out the Invoker. So they're kind of leaving the option open that this still could be a support Death Prophet we're looking at.
I mean, you could also go support Bat, although on 5 that sounds pretty tough. Support Weavers there as well. Maybe you just downgrade Rubik to the pause 5 here and take one of these greedier 4s. Does sound fairly greedy to pull off, if that is the case. And they do take off the Quap here. So Infamous, again, thinking that the mid hasn't showed itself. We'll see what the options do come out, as Infamous do have last pick overall. So Penta Ace will have to show their cards here.
15 seconds of reserve time left. For Penta Ace at least. Looks like they're going to just let it go down all the way to make this final decision. Gotta say, in terms of team fight, they do look a bit lacking here, Penta Ace. You've got a lot of single target control, but in terms of AoE, you've really only got the big silence. They're going to go for the clockwork to finish things off. So probably pos 5 clockwork, pos 4 Rubik. Could be the other way around as well. Doesn't really matter too much either way. Infamous Gaming though, now seeing the clockwork, how do you want to respond?
I don't think you're too worried about the clock. Like, you do have the Clockwork Bat Rider combo, so you can trap someone in cogs, spam Napalm, run over them with the Firefly. At the same time, it is a greedy lineup in terms of EXP. Clockwork wants to hit 6, Rubik wants to hit 6, so that's the Bat Rider, DP, and Weaver. So you're going to have to spread that EXP gain out evenly, and the supports will have to take the hit, especially that clock. More than likely, we're going to see Moo Clockwork in this game, and Z-Freak back in the Rubik, so I think that's pretty hammered in. Infamous, they're still lacking either their safe lane or mid. They're keeping that flexibility till the end. You can see, again, you pointed it out, but Penta Ace did ban out a mid and a safe lane because the options are open here for Infamous. They do have the Void Spirit on hand if they wanted that. The Ember Spirit's there as well, but can kind of play nicely here. They go with a Slark instead. So Monkey mid, Slark off is the call, does look like. Slark safe, sorry. And Slark against Bat Rider in this case is actually pretty nice. You purge off the Napalm, and that's basically it. You can maybe even get the Dark Pact off before the Lasso comes in. So Slark's not going to be a viable target for that control. Penta Ace, we'll have to see what they can get done with this lineup. They need to play fast, prevent the Monkey and the Slark from finding too much farm. Otherwise, you might end up in that same situation where Infamous just scales better into the late game.
It's very true. I think the MK into the DP, I mean, I briefly went over it, but I don't think it means too much for Infamous. I think you just evenly trade, because you can always rely back on the Jingu Mastery, even if you do get Spirit Siphoned by Death Prophet. Shouldn't really matter too much. See what Penta Ace can do. They're looking to try and draw out this series up against Infamous Gaming. Of course, Infamous Gaming would love to get a 2-0 victory if they can. Quite frankly, I think Infamous do have the better draft as well going into this game.
It's a bit of a shakeup as well here, Mike. Snake King Rubik, Z-Freak Clock, and Moon Batrider. So they shifted around. I'm not sure. Core Rubik offlane is something we've seen maybe once or twice in the past year. It can work out. You have to remember the Batrider can't just flash farm anymore. Or he can, but it's a lot slower. So the progression on a support bat is not going to be as quick. We'll see how it pays off for Penta Ace. This is a shakeup for them. But maybe that throws enough off guard from Infamous for them to not know how to deal with his roster, well, not roster swaps, but with the role swaps that Penta Ace are doing in this game.
I mean, we know Mu can play in the offlane, and I think that's more than likely what's happening here. Maybe just let Snake King play the 4 Rubik, or maybe the 5 Rubik, because Z-Freak will probably play the 4 clock. Get to see once these items are up on these heroes.
Yeah, and we'll also see it as lanes break out, which you should be able to take a peek at now. Fortunately, no minute 0 pause this time around. No, I cursed it.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome, Mike. What is this?
3 mangoes on Mu.
Well,
I guess that is the support, probably?
Yeah, I
mean,
think it is.
All right. So he just wants to maximize his first set of mana, refresh, get some damage off, harass out.
I think what we're treating it like is it's like an Undying. Like he's gonna spam his sticky napalm, just be really annoying, harass the hell out of the enemy, get the mangoes up, spam those, keep doing it over and over again, and then maybe just die, go back to Fountain, get a refill, come back again. I think that might be the play here for Mu on this support Batrider. I'm not sure what to think about the core Rubik. Looks like he is going to go for the Necro 3 book on that core Rubik, so very different stuff, which does make it pretty entertaining to watch because I haven't seen this. So I'm very curious to see what the game plan is here from Penta Ace. And we should find out soon as the time goes on. We do get the pause. Mu changes up his items now. He goes for 2 sets of tangos, a ward, and 2 mangoes instead.
It's just, I don't know. I just feel so strange about that draft. Infamous have something much more straightforward and easy to pull off. They are smoked up, and they might have seen Z-Freak pip.
I think they have. Z-Freak gonna get spotted. Michael doesn't need to roll. He'll go for the Boulder Smash instead. Z-Freak pop the Battery Assault, but it's not gonna help with the pounce out from Leo. He will happily take the kill. In fact, they'll give it over to Angel on the Monkey King instead. That's one of the better starts you could have asked for if you are Infamous.
Yeah, to get first blood, that does set your Monkey King up to have a good time down mid. He did opt for level 1 Boundless Strike, and you also have Leo with level 1 Pounce. So laning is not going to be as amazing, especially for the Monkey. You're going to have to ride through that level 1 and hold out until you can get the Jingu to trade with that DP. But otherwise, this is the best outcome you could hope for. They might be able to secure more runes as well, although you already have Fear standing around the top rune spot. Although...
Snake King. No Boulder Smash from Michael. He kind of messed up a little bit there, but Z-Freak is going to get slowed down. A going to run, but the Battery Assault is still going, and A is going to have to accept the fact that he's also dead. So now Ryoya gets a kill for himself. So both mid laners starting off the laning stage with 1 kill each. Nice even kind of start, even though the first blood gold still did go the way of the monkey, does get a little bit more of a bonus.
Yeah, and it helps Angel out a bit more. They both start with their wave clear spells, although for Angel it's not going to be as amazing, throwing out that that boundless strike early on to secure last hits, but he does find a couple of creeps, and Rio is just going to have to hold steady. We'll see how it develops as the levels come in. Of course, that does give us time to look bot. Mu is indeed on the pause 5. Bat Rider with Fear on the Weaver. So Bat Rider Weaver lane, we haven't seen support Bat Rider in a pretty long time. This should be annoying for Mariano, to be fair, right? Like, you're not the Slark up against the Bat. You are the Timber against the Bat. That can slow you down. He can still build up once he has levels up. That should be a good point for him. And you already have Michael on the Earth Spirit, getting some good pulse off. So they're going to find steady EXP on those two heroes anyway.
Yeah, Mariano, he's being very aggressive here on Zephyr. Really not caring at all about the Seeking Napalm from Mu. He's got 4 stacks now. 5 stacks now. Of course, he went for the very early stick, which makes enough sense. And Mu's not going to get any harassment here with this Bat Rider, so Mariano's just kind of getting free mana and HB back with the stick.
Yeah, it's not the best situation, but they are harassing him out fairly well, so he can't come in for the last hits too smoothly, and Mu is just zoning out quite nicely.
He got hit by the tier 1 tower a couple times there, and Ryoya saw the opening to go for the kill with the level 2 Crypt Swarm. Not the greatest start now for Angel, as he has given a solo kill away to Ryoya, and that's going to mean the Death Prophet should be able to get the levels up a little bit faster than the Monkey King.
Yeah, that sets Ryoya up really well. Has level 2, so Crypt Swarm's up. Easier to shove out that wave. Angel, level 3 as well, but again, the wave clear for Angel is not as amazing, and playing into the ranged hero of the VP does make it tougher. So a nice pickup there for Ryoya. Does try to harass back with Boundless Strike, but the cooldown is that much longer that you can't really trade well. Still up top, it's a bit of a mess. Leo is farming behind the tier 1, but they are getting good damage off onto Z-Freak as well.
Yeah, he's still getting a lot of CS here on the Slark. Not struggling too much. Snaking, doing the same thing, just continuing to go for that Necro Book Rush. Not even bothering with the boots yet. Which is fair. I mean, you may as well get the double Sage's masks and just have that lovely mana regen coming in. It's going to help being able to just keep spamming Fade Bolt without having to worry about your mana pool. We see A, he does go for the large camp pool, but it is going to be disrupted here by Z-Freak, and should be able to just pull it away, but A is going to try and disrupt it back towards the large camp, and Z-Freak, he kind of let that happen. But now they're going to turn back around onto A. They don't have enough mana for the cogs right now, but the body blocks from Snaking might be enough. But here comes a rotation. Michael with the Earth Spirit, TPing right back into that top lane. The nice roll in and Boulder Smash does mean Z-Freak is going to die to Leo. Leo will say thank you very much for that kill.
Yeah, it's a nice pickup for him, as he does have his Essence Shift up, so he gets 1 permanent Agi to start off with. A little bit of a boost for the Slark, and a really good timely rotation from Michael. Allows him to walk into the triangle, wait out the 4-minute power rune, and just contest it well. Although Z-Freak does get a reset because he died, and does get to walk in. There is a ward to spot this out, and Michael's not going to be able to really just get that for free.
He wants to try and contest his power rune, and it is going to be an illusion. Z-Freak just going to pick it up. Can't hold it for the DP. Angel trying to go in onto Ryoya. Does get the Jingu. Has the Boundless. Will commit it, but he's going to be a little bit careful. Because there is no mana available on Ryoya right now, so he can't go for the Crypt Swarm. But Z-Freak is there. Doesn't quite get the cogs he wanted. Does just push away the MK. Looks like Angel, realizing there's no Crypt Swarm to come, is just going to get back to farming.
And that's a really good Fortify wall, though, preventing Angel from getting that creep wave early on. Does eventually find it, as Fortify only lasts for so long. Still, rather even start. Just a lot of harassment out from both sides. Should see some contention for those bounty runes now as well. Michael still camping around, trying to track Z-Freak and maybe snag a couple of runes as well.
Bottom lane, Mariano does manage to take 1 away, but Fear is going to Sakuchi to the other. Mariano actually giving him the tip. Fear still does get another, though. It's still a 2-for-2 trade. Mariano probably just trying to get into the mind of Fear a little bit. Fear Stone Cold Killer does not care, of course. Does now have the Javelin up, and we've seen this rotation before from position 1 Weavers. They come into the mid lane with that Javelin. With that added damage, they're trying to go for a bit of a pick-off. Onto Angel they go, and it's a lot of magical burst he has, but Fear is actually dropping quite low now. Ryoya will still be able to kill Angel beforehand, though, and does get a double kill on the DP. And that may also be a tier 1 tower, as the Siege Creep is still up for Ryoya, and he has plenty of time on that Exorcism.
Really well-timed rotation out from Fear, and this rotation from Weaver, it always pays off when you have that early Javelin. Sub 6 minutes, they find the kills they need, they apply pressure in the tower that they need to, but the TPs are coming in.
It's a lot of TPs. Problem is Michael is going to have a bit of a slower TP, and does mean he will not be able to connect the roll to really punish Ryoya for that. Bot lane, however, Mariano. He has a fair bit of damage. Fear is going to go for the chase. The Flame Break lands as well, and Mariano is eventually going to go down, and Fear gets himself some sweet, sweet revenge. As well as that, though, Z-Freak ends up dying on the Clockwork top lane.
Yeah, it's back and forth. You're a bit happier about that kill on the Timbersaw. When we see Tim's fall behind, it doesn't play out well, and Moo is actually getting a good amount of EXP on the support Batrider 5. So overall, things looking good here for Penta Ace early on. They're hitting all their beats, they're hitting all their power spikes in terms of levels, and they can start playing around soon. Infamous, lagging a bit behind. Angel's initial farm, just not getting as much, even the EXP gain. 2 levels behind Ryoya now. Not good news for a Monkey King who does want to hit his own level 7, level 8 spike, get his own rotations out.
Z-Freak going to move in onto A, really just trying to close the gap, but he doesn't have brown boots up on the clock, so he can't quite keep up with the Disruptor. Leo seems very satisfied with just farming up on the Slark, trying to get towards that Echo Saber rush. Once he has that up, he can get nice and active with his team. The Snake King does have the Necro 1 book, and he's going to go ahead and lift up Leo, but he's going to turn right back around now with a roll to connect from Michael, and Snake King is gone. Nice little bait there from Leo.
Yeah, just a bit too far forward, and they find another kill. 3 stacks now on Leo for that Essence Shift. So 3 permanent Agi, a good build-up on the Slark early on, evening out the kill board just a bit, 5-4. Less than 1k lead still running on Penta Ace. And you do have a timing to play with. Exorcism is back up if they want to look down mid.
Z-Freak trying to protect the power rune. Ryoya does manage to get the illusion for himself. Yeah, I suppose they could go for the Exorcism. You don't really have a Siege Creep to play with, which may dissuade them a little bit. And it looks like Infamous, already kind of preemptively thinking this might happen, have come in to defend, but Ryoya has not backed off, and he does indeed pop the ulti. Looks like the defense is just not going to be there. So, Penta Ace, a very nice quick tier 1 mid. And even bot lane, you look back, Mariano was being dived on again on the Timber, had to TP back towards the tier 1 tower. I think this time around, Penta Ace are finding much more than they did in the early game of last game.
Yeah, it's working out a lot better in the aggression. You have to look at Mariano as well. He did go for the max Timber Chain build this time around, not going for reactive, which is fair enough, especially since there is that Javelin and Maelstrom now from Fear to pierce through physical armor anyway. It does mean his presence in lane is really shot down without that additional regen, but they do drag some heroes down here. But it's a slippery Weaver, very hard to lock in.
I wonder how long they can leave Fear to farm up with this Maelstrom before he becomes too big of a problem. Mid lane, Z-Freak rolled on and does get taken out. Obviously not the easiest game for a Clockwork this game, but this is the 4th time that Z-Freak's died already. Certainly a very bad start for him.
Yeah, on the bright side, that means 4 out of the 5 kills Infamous have found is only on the Clockwork. So you're not losing too much at this point. It does mean your pause 4 slowing down, but you've enabled Mu to have a better game. I think overall you can just pivot towards a harder support on the Rubik, on the Clockwork, and start to maybe prioritize this Bat Rider's timings, as it is online and they can be threatening down bot.
They're gonna go A. Die very easily. Ryoya now on a mega kill streak with a DP. 5-0-0. Exorcism not quite up, but they can still harass out this tier 1 bottom tower and slowly siege away at it. They do also have the siege creep coming in. So now they can certainly commit. Mu's going to be there to keep tabs on who's behind the tier 1. And as long as they protect that siege creep, this tier 1 is eventually just going to fall.
Yeah, it's not many options for Infamous to defend. They just don't have the team fight that they need to go back in. They're going to need level 6 on A. They're going to need the Wukong's value point on Angel as well to get that done. And without those spells, just a whole lot harder to force these big team fights. So free towers coming out for Penta Ace. They're playing to their strengths quite nicely. They took that tower without popping Exorcism, which means Ryoya TPing up top can try again with the Exorcism.
I suppose so. I mean, why the hell not? Z-Freak is level 6 and is still holding on to the skill point, but does eventually go for the hook shot. He did see Michael for a while, but doesn't really want to hook onto the Earth Spirit by himself, as you can always just kick the Clockwork out and roll away. Instead, it looks like he's just zoning out, making sure that Ryoya can do this along with snaking for free. And that they will. This will be the 3rd tower of the game going down while Infamous have not gotten one. And that generally does spell pretty bad news if you are Infamous, as you are going to lose map control very quick at this rate. They really need to start taking some towers.
Yeah, they are looking down bot. They do have Leo around as well to do some damage. This is the issue of Infamous's lineup, though. Not the best push. They don't have Necronomicon carriers. They don't have summons to play with. No tower hitters with spells as well. So it's going to be slow going. That's enough time to still apply pressure up top. Snaking, just keeping that constant push with his Necronomicon level 2. There was a smoke out in the 2 supports.
They roll in. They found the DP. That'll be a massive, massive kill. Jump in from Angel. Hookshot was there from Z-Freak, but it does nothing. And now Z-Freak probably set to fall to boot. They have the glimpse, but they need vision. A still can't get it off, but it won't matter. Michael finishes off the kill with the boulder smash. That's huge. Ryoya, what was he? 5-0 before he got that death going. Now Mu going to be in trouble. Infamous just keep going, finding 3 across the map.
It's pretty big pickoffs. That's going to allow them to clean up the spot tier 1. So they do actually find a tower in the end. Very slow going, but it does pay off. They're building up in farm as well. Very even in terms of net worth across both sides. You're seeing Leo slightly ahead of Fear, but not by much. Angel slightly ahead of Ryoya. It's only really the offlane where this gap really exists. Mariano is so far behind compared to Snaking that the core Rubik is looking like it's paying off. And Mariano now
lifted up, brought back. Ryoya has a silence with the Spirit Siphon, and Mariano just can't get out of it. He doesn't have a Hood of Defiance either, so all that magic damage coming through is just going to be maximized. And, well, Penta Ace, they keep going. Tier 2 tower now up. Even with the death on Ryoya that just occurred, they just don't seem to mind. They kill off Mu and Z-Freak down in the mid lane while losing A. But now the rotation in, Ryoya and Fear going to get Angel on the Monkey King, and they might even get the Earth Spirit because they have so much damage.
Oh boy, bit messy there for Infamous, trying to TP out at the wrong time and get punished. 10-10 now, Penta Ace up by 1k, not much of a gap just yet, but with that tier 2 up top gone, there's less space for Infamous to control. Roche access is a bit rougher now as well, and it's harder for Infamous to start finding the angles in these fights. There's some good deep wards here from Penta Ace. They've got the ward watching the triangle. They don't have any wards up top, though, to watch that part of the jungle just yet. So Infamous can still farm in that area fairly nicely. They will need to find this catch-up farm soon. Angel already has the Maelstrom, wants to build into the Ags build-up for the Monkey King. So once you do have that, more presence from the Monkey on hand, the issue is getting to that point.
Michael. Now plenty of vision. Nice chain in from Snaking, and well, Michael's definitely gone. Here will take his 4th kill of the game as Leo is going to try and jump it a nice chains away. That'll be pretty much it. Leo, I doubt he gets anything here unless Fear has to avoid the pounce. Everything just perfectly fine for Penta Ace. More farm to come out and a 1k net worth lead their way, and well, Infamous, I like their draft to begin with, but it is not really working out. The pressure from Penta Ace is proving to be way too much.
Yeah, they're just getting so much off the map. They're playing aggressive as well. Leo is so far out by himself.
Z-Freak as well, John, is onto Mariano. And he's gone. Z-Freak just holding him down for such a long time, and when you have battery assault, cogs, and hookshot, it's not hard to stop Mariano from chaining away. Infamous now, they've smoked up, and they are going to spawn out the core Rubik. Problem is, Snaking seems to have realized and just dropped the Necro units as Leo was trying to take them down, and now we'll go back onto the Rubik, but moves here. Here to help him out. Michael's still trying, but the lasso will be committed, and Michael's going to die. Even A, having his TP cancelled by Z-Freak's going to go down. And they just can't find a kill.
It's really messy for Infamous. They keep trying to throw their bodies out, but this is not their power spike. It's really strong for Penta Ace at the moment. They've got a lot of damage, a lot of control. You don't have that same control and damage yet on Infamous, so I think they need to tone down the aggression, get this farm up on your Slark and your Monkey King. Try to work with the space you have on hand. Use Mariano as a body toss forward. He's been dying so much anyway. He doesn't have items on this Timbersaw very early on, but that is going to allow the Roche to come out here for Penta Ace, and Infamous don't have many options to fight in that pit.
No, they don't. Exorcism going to make quick work of it, as well as the Necro units, of course. This Roshan not even going to be scouted out here by Infamous. Just going to go down for free. Roshan will go over to Fear on the Weaver, or rather the Aegis will, and Z-Freak. He was holding them back in the mid lane, but Michael does not want to stick around as the hook shot comes in from Z-Freak, locking down the Earth Spirit and ensuring they get the kill. They can just keep going. They just seem so far ahead of Infamous. Fear will run into Mariano. He doesn't have a way of locking him down, so Mariano is going to be fine. But they continue to just make this map smaller and smaller for Infamous.
Yeah, it's getting hard to get that farm split that we saw in the last game for Infamous. They don't have the option to split push as well because they don't have the heroes to get that done. So it's just a constant risk, and even Leo's just constantly tracked up with Snaking.
Snaking's not really going to go all the way for the kill, though. Leo should not really just die to a core Rubik on his own. So I do hear a smoke, and it's like Penta Ace, knowing the location of that Slark and him being chased down right now, might make it so they can just keep going. And yeah, these units are just going to keep following him down while the smoke is to catch up. And Moon out pops the Firefly. Rocket Flare is there. Leo trying for the TP play, and is going to make it in time. Moo couldn't get there for the lasso. Very close call, though.
Yeah, he does buy a lot of space out for his team on Infamous's end. So this is allowing some farm to fly onto Angel. The Ags is just about 200 gold away, although Angel...
Caught out. Hookshot is going to be good from Z-Freak, and Angel, with the Cogs pushback, can't go anywhere. Nice mischief dodge on one of the attacks, but it isn't going to matter. Ryoya still manages to get the kill on the DP, and I suppose we're really starting to see why they really like this DP on Ryoya. Currently 8-1-3, and with the Exorcism up in 4 seconds, he can go for another tier 2 tower, and I don't see how Infamous really stop them.
They can't. They just can't afford to take these big fights right now. They've been trying to avoid the engagements. They do have combinations. They've got the Static Storm to play with. But without the Monkey King with the Wukongs, the damage is just not going to be enough. And they're just going to have to try to deep-push as much as possible while waiting for those respawns, while waiting for these items to get done.
The Necro unit still going onto that tier 3. Ryoya not popping the ulti. Not even feeling like he needs it. Just keeps tanking the tower hits, and he does have a regen rune active after all, so he just never has to back. Eventually they do glyph it up. But I have a feeling that Penta Ace, they're not backing. Even with that glyph expended, they're almost certainly just going to go back once their creep wave is around.
They still have the ults to play with. They know Infamous are not in position to contest these pushes as well. They do have the Ags up an Angel. That is nice, although.
Z-Freak right onto the Timber. He cannot chain away in time. The silence was there. Cogs in the middle of all this. They do kill off Z-Freak, but they got Mariano. They might even get Michael, as he's just not out of the woods. A nice block out from Fear, and Michael is going to go down. A double kill for Ryoya. It's back into that mid-tier 2 tower.
Yeah, there's no defending this. No Wukongs, no Static Storm. You have no way of stopping that push. So one outer tower left here for Infamous. They're stuck in a really awkward spot. You already have Leo just trying to creep cut, getting some farm where he can as fast as possible. Does snag a bounty rune, but he could be surrounded. At the least there is a Rubik, and the flare does spot him out.
They do. Leo's going to go for a run. Purged up, but he can purge that off. Boundless Strike there from Snaking now with the lift down. There's just so much control. They forced the Shadow Dance, but Z-Freak still has a hook shot. Dark Pact is out. Z-Freak not landing the cogs. Leo did just pounce. I guess you still force out the ulti from the Slark, but yeah, it's a low cooldown. It's not going to matter too much.
And it's off.
Yeah, you won't feel too bad about it. You do manage to scout out Angel up top, though. He is going to be able to TP home, but he's taking a lot of damage from Fear. And they are keeping that move down mid.
Yeah, A's in trouble. Be okay. Leo also going to have to back. They do glimpse Ryoya. These Necromonicons have been so impactful from Snaking. As the Disruptor, you just can't let them hit you. You have to run every single time, and it can really force the supports of Infamous to always be out of position. Never seems like they're ready to back anyone up because they're always being chased by these Necro 3 units. Now bot lane, Moo. He's not going to spot out Mariano. I thought they might have a look in that tree line, but that is not going to be the case. Instead, they are going to try and fight up in this top lane where they get the silence off onto the slug, but Eclipse is there. Ryoya BKB is thrilled, but Leo does have the Shadow Dance once again. Still, Fear is around the area and is going to kill off A, and they get the Yules off on the Slark now, and Leo, he's trying to run, but it's going to be no good. Nice easy pick off. Penta Ace, just so powerful at the moment. They might even get some tier 3 damage up.
They definitely can. Exorcism still running just for a bit. It's going to fade soon, but that's enough to at least get one hit on each ghost, or a couple of hits. They are trying to split push bot. Mariano is going to find that tier 2 in exchange, but losing 2 heroes, losing tier 3 for that is not worthwhile. Infamous, they do have Static Storm and Wukongs, so they could try for a play if they do throw their bodies out.
Takram going to fly through. Very cautious to roll in Michael, not wanting to go all the way. Looks like Penta Ace, gonna leave it at that anyway. Not interested in the fight without the exorcism.
Have to be cautious about what Penta Ace has on hand. They've got this blink up and moo, so the pos 5 bat can actually just blink in and get the lasso off. He finds the angle. There's a bit of a blessing here for Infamous. With the Ags and the Monkey King, they can actually play defensively on the high ground quite nicely. Just get a couple of soldiers down by standing around the towers, and you can slow it down, although seeing that most of their push is ranged, it's hard. Although,
So they have caught out the Disruptor. A, just gonna burn. That's one down. Towards the top lane, Angel is jumping through the tree line as we speak, but it looks like they want to go after the tier 3 tower. Still 15 seconds for Exorcism, but they don't really seem to need it so much.
no, they've got enough damage on hand. Fear just hits like a truck. The Necronomicons are just so valuable in these pushes, and Again, Infamous has no response. They can't get their wave clear out. They can't get the team fight out. And now with Exorcism up, if they do take that team fight, it is going to hurt them a ton.
Another rack's gone. Great plays here by Penta Ace. Mariano gonna TP away, but they got Angel. That's the much bigger target, and Mariano doesn't even cancel the TP. He just leaves his Monkey King to die. And in all honesty, he may as well, because I don't think either of them would have survived had he stayed. Still gonna hurt though to lose Angel like that. And on top, he doesn't have buyback.
Yeah, he bought out the BKB. It's going to be useful in the next fight, but there's an opportunity here for Penta Ace to continue that aggression. They are smoked around, trying to get the wrap around here, but Leo is a slippery Slark, so it could be a hard target to go for.
Not quite. Snake King is jumping through the tree, and he can just cast Lift right out of the tree. Leo is going to pop the Shadow Dance, but how long does it last? Probably not that long. He pounces towards the high ground, but now Fear's there waiting for him. He just can't catch a break, Leo. And he's gone. And now Michael, who came in to try and help out his buddy, is also set to die as he gets Yule stumped, and he's gone as well. A double kill out for Fear. And you know that Penta Ace are definitely going for that bottom tier 2 tower now.
No, there's nothing stopping it. They should have Exorcism up for the high ground push as well after this tier 2, so they can easily pierce through the last set of racks, and all Infamous can do is try to farm elsewhere on the map. They're forced to TP home now, but it's just difficult. Even with these items up on Angel, even with that BKB, it just doesn't feel like it's going to be enough just yet to really hold on to these last few objectives.
Uses the Blade Mail. I'm not sure what the play was there, though. Force the BKB now as Mu just goes for an easy lasso onto Angel. He still doesn't have buyback. He's trying to run. He is going to die. And now Michael rolling in, but this looks like an absolute disaster. Freak is trying to just hold everyone away from the low ground. Leo is going to pop the Shadow Dance and get a Clockwork kill, but they're just going to go back in, surely. You know the Shadow Dance is down. You know there's no buyback on Angel. They pop the ulti. And unless a miracle happens for Infamous, this should be Megas.
Yeah, there's no stopping. I don't know why they're not fighting with their ults here on Infamous' end.
They're going to roll in. They're going to try. Leo is just hitting away. Static Storm to be dropped, but it's off target. He's going to buy back. Ryoya going to be glimpsed back. He may go down, but no. Just siphons out. He's going to survive, and now the ghosts are going to come back to give him a full reset. They have not quite finished off the racks, and Angel is going to respawn, however. So maybe a bit of a mistake there chasing down Leo and forcing the buyback, but they can just go back in now. No lift though. Fear still not giving up. Right after A on that disruptor, and he just dies to the Sakuchi damage. Leo. Be very cautious. Mariano also going to chain away. Penta Ace, they'll smoke up.
Yeah, it's still a good set of trades coming out. They build up a 12k lead now on Penta Ace's side. Infamous, they dropped the Static Storm that time, but they're not finding the follow-up with the Wukongs. They're not finding the follow-up with the Kinetic Field to really trap people in, and that's costing them these fights. They still have some decent hold, but they're tethering on the edge. Just one set of racks left, no tier 3 to protect, and the Roche is up. So Penta Ace is just going to go for the safer play. Infamous, I don't even know if they can fight in there. They do have good spells for the pit, but it just feels like they lack damage.
Angel's going to try. I mean, they have no choice. Chain in Mariano, reveal himself. They'll just get started, but you don't want to go up to that high ground if you are Penta Ace. Roll in now from Michael is off target, and he's just trapped himself in the Roshan pit. They aren't committing yet. Mariano going to jump in as well, but hookshot is there from Freak onto Angel. The monkey just needs to run now. He's going to BKB charge still be used up as Leo goes on to Snaking. The Rubik still walking away, and Ryoya trying to body block the Slark will not be able to do so. Still Angel dropping very low, but now he's got the Wukongs down, and the Roshan is going to drop. They will steal the Roshan kill away, and they also get the Aegis. In fact, they'll even kill off Freak. Ryoya is there, has Exorcism, and now will pop it. He's going to try and fight this all on his own. Gives the vision to cancel off the TP onto Leo. And Leo was not the one to take the Aegis, it was the Monkey King. But Leo does not have buyback. He did expend it last high ground defense. Maybe a bit of an error there to not give him the Aegis on the Slark. Now that's Megas.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult now for Infamous. The shove in from PentAce is just way too much to play up against. Without the Slark for minute 10, minute 15, that does mean like they have an ample enough time to maybe look at those tier 4s or at least clear out these buildings to allow the creeps easier access to that next objective. So
Michael.
Infamous. Oh.
That's another one. To go down. He has buyback on the Earth Spirit. Infamous not willing to call the GG. Still believe they have a chance in this game. They're going to keep going. Angel. Oh, he's been picked off. No, he's fine. Hook shot from Z-Freak. Not going to land, but Angel, he is too far forward. Ryoya. Oh, nice dodge on the Mischief. Rocket Flare is going to get the Aegis, though. Penta Ace, they're not done. But it looks like they might be. The TPs are coming out now. Ryoya, he's had enough. Then they might just wait for the Exorcism to be back up and available before they do go again.
Yeah, there's no need to rush here in Penta Ace's end. Infamous are playing on the back foot. They don't have enough farm on their Slark and on their Monkey to really take control of these fights. They need some damage items up and they need BKBs. Angel does have a BKB. It hasn't been enough without the follow-up from the Slark, so not quite enough in the tank to really get the card going here. And Penta Ace, they did back off for a bit, but they are ready to go. Exorcism up in 10. And
here they go. Static Storm dropped. They've caught Moo in there. Glimpse out of the storm, though, is going to save Moo's life. So they can't kill the Bat Rider now. And well, Angel, he's still being targeted by Fear. Won't go past the tier 4 towers, and nobody's going to die. Everyone survives. Infamous still holding the high ground, and Penta Ace, they are done.
Yeah, and it's a good time to reset. They know Static Storm is down, so they could go back in the next minute. They do have the E-Blade being saved up from Ryoya, so he's going to have that fairly soon. And Fear is saving up for a Nullifier. So they're going to have some ways to just lock in these heroes, get the damage off. Infamous, maybe they get the Static Storm for the next defense. It looks like they will. So there is still some fight left in Infamous. They just need to find those angles. They have to be careful about glimpsing back the Bat Rider when the Static Storm is on top. A bit of a mistake from A does cost them some bounce back gold. And they're going to have to look for that opportunity elsewhere, as they can't really go out of the base now. They're just stuck on high ground, farming mega creeps. Not very efficient farm for them. And it does lead to slower growth here.
Yeah. It's going to spot out Leo. Leo does have Shadow Dance and can just use it to get away, but looks like Fear's going to try and force him to do so. Instead, they will just glimpse the Weaver out of the way. I see a smoke being brought out. They have committed it onto 3 heroes. Looks like Leo wants to get into the secret shop and try to get his ultimate orb to finish off his Eye of Skadi. He's gonna make it.
Regeneration!
Keep running down towards the south to get some farm up. Meanwhile, Fear's going for a Nullifier on the Weaver. Make sure these Ghost Scepters that are being bought out don't really do anything. They are looking for a way back into the high ground as they make the jump in onto Angel, and Angel is gone. That's all they needed, one lasso, and yeah, there's no buyback. He doesn't have the gold, he's short by about 400. The Exorcism is going to make it extremely challenging to try and slow down this push. Penta Ace, Michael, going to roll in, but a nice hook shot there from Z-Freak, holding back Leo on the Slark. Michael goes down, Snaking is being chased up by Mariano, but he cannot stick around too much longer as Sphere also kills off A, and now he's right onto Leo. And Leo looks like he has no real way out. He'll kill off the Rubik, but it'll cost him his own life, and Michael as well will go down straight after, and that'll be GG, well played. It will mean a drawn-out series between Penta Ace and Infamous.
Yeah, Penta Ace managing to bounce back in game number 2. They run this wonky off-lane Rubik with Necronomicon build, but it does pay off. Mu as well on the hard 5 Bat Rider still gets still gets everything done there. And you know, the side of Infamous not managing to find that rhythm this time in game number 2. They opened up with a very early Timbersaw, doesn't manage to work out their way. Mariano had a very slow start, and they just couldn't capitalize on it. So well played from Penta Ace to get that draw. But I think Infamous, they showed up in game 1. They had a rougher game 2, so you can't really take away from them. It's a very even back and forth between both teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, saw Snaking giving a shout out to his mate's Twitch. I think it was Pure Everything, but only with one E after Pure. Like counting as the first letter for everything as well. So if you wanted to check that out, I guess, go ahead and check it out. Apart from that though, John, we are going to move on to our third series of the day. And it is going to be between No Ping and Dogchamp. Yeah, rather interesting matchup. Dogchamp currently looking to try and get a 2-0 victory. They did manage a draw up against Simply 2-Base last night, so not too bad of a start for them, but definitely looking for some more wins. And No Ping are currently undefeated. They've won 4 games in a row, and they look kind of undefeatable every game they played. We'll see if they can keep it up. With that, it is MLP Dota on johnxfire, and we're going to be back in roughly 10 to 15 minutes for our third series of the day.